Welcome back, guys, to the quarterfinals, the start of the invited teams here on Rival Esports. We got the Spring Open well and underway. We're now going to be heading on over to Beckwith Park. No, this is Manfield. I've been lied to. Stacks, what are we going to do here? We've got Allegiance going up against Merlyn in the quarterfinals.
We do, and this Allegiance team just into the RLCS after the promotion tournament, looking to keep their strong results coming. We do have just a little bit of news from elsewhere in the bracket, by the way. The Speed of Light team that won their round one matchup, they do have a couple players that had to leave, so they have DQ'd out of the quarterfinals, meaning FlyQuest are already through into the semifinals. And if we have any other results, we will keep you updated as we get them. But right now we do have Allegiance up against Merlyn, and really a big test for this Merlyn squad. Probably the toughest team they've played in their short existence as a team. This Allegiance squad was, you could probably argue, the most improved team in all of North America from the previous season to this season, and they of course top it all off with their rebirth into the RLCS. We'll see if that continues, though, that upswing. They do have maybe a tougher challenge than you would think, though, because, again, this team led by a very capable player himself in Ralph. Quality member of the Dudes that recently disbanded and had a quality run through the Rival Series as well.
Yep, well, we are underway, a minute down, not a single goal to be had yet. And it's not really for a lack of trying, it's just both teams are tasting each other. They're having a little bit of an appetizer here, Stacks, where they're testing the water, seeing what their opponents are capable of, and then getting the ball moving around the pitch in weird and wild ways. This is going to be a good one.
It's Ralph trying to bomb one downfield towards E-Tech. Taroko's just going to get up there in time. That will find Ralph. Taroko's not going to have this, though, as Tie Knot Tyler clears it away. E-Tech, though, after Taroko runs a line through Seabass, that's going to set up Merlyn in good position. That shot's going to be wide. Ty barely got a piece of it. Now Illusion needs to clear and has it. More importantly, had Seabass waiting at midfield. Great defending from Allegiance, who strikes first.
This is just building up Merlyn, and then Allegiance just strike them down. It's like they're playing with their food there. It's almost like it was planned in how beautifully that counter was executed.
Yeah, just almost like kind of a Jackie Chan style defense, right? Just a lot of bodies flying all over the place. Finally, the ball's cleared away, and what happens? It turns into, well, the sequence ending with that goal for Allegiance. Now E-Tech, he's gonna actually look like he was ready to jump after that. I'm not sure Taroko really called him off either, just decided he had that. Now Ralph looking to center here for E-Tech, but he's a little slow getting there. Taroko maybe trying to set this up himself, and Seabass will greatly claim it.
And nice little control from Seabass, and you can see it. Allegiance are trying to pass their way out of defense. Merlyn, they're putting on a lot of pressure at the moment. Taroko actually going for a little bit of a bump there onto Illusion. It's feeling like both teams are actually quite comfortable with the state of affairs at the moment.
Well, it's Illusion here. That pass a little too strong. Tie Knot Tyler's onto it, though. Has an open net, and Seabass just bangs one off the crossbar with everything to shoot at. Well, it looks like the Allegiance of old there. He's going to want that one back.
Yeah, and we were talking about Allegiance earlier. Like you said, they're on a bit of an upswing. That drop down to RLRS taught them that they've got to keep informed. They've got to keep practicing, keep fighting away. That's why tonight's a good one for them, going up against teams that they might not have a single clue about. These sort of plays which are unusual to them. So throughout this game, they're going to be learning what their opponents are doing and adapting to it. That's why you're seeing them start off with a really defensive sort of strategy, because it's the best way to sort of like play it safe and then move out of.
There's a shot from Seabass. It does sail high. Tie Knot Tyler mistimed it a bit. Did get a bump, though. That will keep E-Tech out of the play for just an extra moment before he does recover and sends another one away. Chance for Taroko. Big drive just out of the reach of the defense, and it's Taroko who ties the game.
Yeah, this was a little bit of a poor rotation where not Tyler, sort of came on into that middle expecting the pass. But really, in that situation, you've got to make sure when you've got a player coming on up to you that you don't leave an angle on that goal open.
Now it's Aleutian. With Taroko waiting patiently. Tyler needs to center this. Oh, he doesn't! He leaves it for Seabass. The defense sitting there expecting that to go to the ceiling. It's a brilliant play for Allegiance.
E-Tech there as well. He was really close into that corner and then just moved into the middle of the net. As we know, Stacks, defending from the middle net is the least effective way to defend at all, and he had no chance of getting anywhere near that ball, especially after that drop was just so skinny.
I think the Allegiance organization really turned a lot of heads when they announced that they were re-signing this team that had really had an abysmal RLCS and had dropped down to the rival series, but they were signing them through 2019. And the question was, wait, really? What have they done? Well, since then, all they've done is win. Aleutian has been one of the most improved players, and right on cue, he bangs one through here.
Yep, definitely. They saw the potential. This passing play as well. Ralph and E-Tech definitely, they saw that it could happen, but they didn't have the clairvoyance they needed to beat it out 3-1 in favor of Allegiance.
It's going to be E-Tech looking to set up Taroko, but Taroko got spun out right at the last moment, right as he would have been ready to jump. Just got hit from behind. That kills the play immediately. But now Ralph, he's got to go the distance of the field. 15 seconds remaining, and that's swatted away. Seabass was there, but it's Tyler who gets the clear. Everybody comes up empty here. 8 seconds left. If they're going to have a chance at a kickoff goal to tie, they need to score right here. They were given a goal. They didn't take it, and Allegiance will take game one.
Yep, Allegiance taking game one in what felt rather quite slow. Like I said, it's both teams sort of thinning each other out. And then after that midway mark, Allegiance coming in a lot stronger, starting to look really quite comfortable and happy with how things were going. And Stacks, my only problem here is that we could start seeing Allegiance sort of extend that lead. And I'm scared that the next game could turn into a 5-1 sort of fest.
Yeah, it's interesting that this Merlyn team, you see Ralph at the top of the scoreboard. Being the underdog is a role that Ralph is very familiar with, and being kind of behind the 8 ball, it doesn't really faze him at all. He's been an underdog really his entire Rocket League career, and I think this past Rival Series season, everything leading up to that was really a breakout party for both the dudes and with Ralph. So being in this situation, I don't think he's going to be phased like maybe some other up-and-coming players might be. Yes, it's a daunting task. I think he is more than ready for it. He's going to turn around here, though, and intercept this pass, and he does. Just getting in front of Seabass. Good pass out for E-Tech. The shot picked perfectly by E-Tech, and the lead for Merlyn.
Well, you said it, Ralph. He knows this Allegiance squad probably better than any other opponent he's faced against them time and time again. And there he knew the answer. A nice pass up to E-Tech who could finish it off. 1-0. That is a great way to kick things off for Merlyn.
So it'll be Tyler. He misses this. So E-Tech has it up there for Ralph. And his shot's just wide. Aleutian was there if it was on target anyways. And I'm not sure what Allegiance is doing, but they are on the other side of the field. So it's worked out. Aleutian now gonna lob one up there for Seabass, who goes up and gets it. And after all that, we're tied.
Look, Stacks here. I'm not upset. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Where was the defense? It was not anywhere near that net. Every player from Merlyn was by the halfway mark. How do you expect to keep shots out if you are nowhere near that goal?
Well, one thing we know we can see from Allegiance, we saw it even in the promotion tournament, you're going to see quality passing. And that play in particular is an example of that. Yeah, I mean, you just see Tyler come in out of nowhere from midfield to go up and meet his teammate who's got the ball going towards the center line. and they still find a way to make their way downfield. It ends up in whatever that was. Can't argue with results. We are tied, but for how long? Almost tie broken there by Ralph. E-Tech almost broke the tie as well. Jiroko won't get a chance as it's cleared away by Seabass, and now we're 2-on-2 back the other way, and Ralph will just bomb it downfield. Jiroko not able to catch up, and back and forth we go.
Yeah, looking at Merlyn now, their passes upfield are good. They just don't have that finishing man. They don't have anyone there to put the ball away. E-Tech going up high here, and that was too long a delay for Tarako to come on through and put a shot on. This is what Merlyn needs to tweak a little bit.
It's Ralph. He's got E-Tech coming up, but the pass goes way too far into the blue zone. Not able to catch up to it was E-Tech. Now Taroko. He's got a half flip back. Ralph's got to come up and take this. Somebody needs to be there now. It's Taroko who does find E-Tech. That's a beautiful ball for anybody. It's E-Tech who ends up coming in, and it's swatted away. That might have caught a deflection on its way through as well. Now Ty-Not Tyler, that pass well behind him. So Aleutian left to defend at midfield and does maybe just enough. Ty can't get back though, and Taroko reclaims the lead for Merlyn.
Yeah, Taroko here getting that final finish that I've been asking for. And it's all coming down to a lot of overconfidence from Allegiance here, Stacks, where you saw they were very upfield. They were very overcommitted into their attacks, trying to put that pressure on previously. And they just weren't respecting any attack coming out from Merlyn because they've seen them for the last, half of the game. Near enough whiffing every finishing shot.
The winner of this match gets the winner between G2 and Splice. No pressure. Ty-Not Tyler's going to score the equalizer as everybody kind of got caught flat-footed, and there was a big explosion right on the goal line.
Well, those explosions as well, not in this case, but have you seen it before where those tactical demos which create the explosions sort of just blind you? It's like a smoke screen. So I'm waiting for these players to sort of get that physical game going because I'm feeling at the moment, Stacks, that Merlyn could pull it off, and that's what could really turn the Allegiance players around and sort of make them panic a little bit because they're still looking rather quite cool and collected here.
Taroko, he's going to try to follow this himself, but his momentum took him just wide, and he could not follow. The defense wasn't there, too, so if Taroko had maybe another 30 boosts, he probably could have finished that. He'll try to finish this, and Seabass barely gets back in time to just pop that over the crossbar. It's been a good showing for Merlyn here, but is it going to be good enough? Taroko now on target. No, just over the crossbar, and back the other way it goes to a waiting Ralph.
Yep, Ralph there just making sure that they have a player back. They know these quick counters can come out for Allegiance, and they're starting to learn it, Stacks. It took them a game and a half, but they're getting there, dude.
Well, Aleutian, that was a great pass to him. Problem is, it didn't come from a blue car. Dangerous spot there for Merlyn. They get away with it, though. Now Seabass, as Ty and Aleutian run into each other. This could be trouble. It is not. Ty looking for the double touch. He got it, but it's off target. Everybody misses here. And back the other way it goes. Seabass has to have this, and he does, just off to the side.
Yeah, you said miss. That was definitely a fake from E-Tech. He was over boosting it. He was trying to make his opponent think that he was going to hit into it and then, hit into a block, essentially. Mind games are really starting to come out from both sides. And Merlyn, with E-Tech there, that was a good one.
Merlyn started to dig into the bag of tricks. Taroko, that's well high. And Aleutian now finds Seabass. That's going to pop up, and he just can't get on top of the shot. E-Tech back the other way. Is Seabass going to turn? No, it's Taroko with 3 seconds left. Overtime is looming, and that's where we're headed.
Yep, another overtime tonight, and whew, this is looking like a lot closer than game one. Legions, they might have just got a nice opportunity there. What has happened to Merlyn? This defense is looking so shaky out of the gates.
I think we call that a lapse of concentration, but it pays off in the end, or at least it doesn't cost them. Wouldn't say anything like that would pay off, per se. Here's Ty Tyler. His shot. Oh, well read by Taroko. Difficult spot there, having just landed on the wall. Does strafe across to make the save. That shot from Ty Tyler. He can score from anywhere on the field, and he scores here to end it in overtime.
Yep, and Tyler there making sure to hit the goal, not the wall. We've seen a lot of missed shots from that position so far this evening, and he's made sure it's not happening again. Allegiance now 2-0 up in this best of 5 series. They're getting ever so closer to go up against the winners of that G2 versus the Splice game. And yeah, that is still a case of, now that's a tricky opponent to go up against. Like, anyone in this bracket, I just do not envy them here.
Oh no, at this point, I think once you reach the top 4, you've earned it at that point. You have gone through quite a bit. Well, unless you're FlyQuest, you haven't played a game and you're in the top 4. But aside from that, literally, FlyQuest has been invited to this tournament and given a DQ win to get into the semifinals. Other than them, you really have earned it to get to this point, because it is, you know, it's a gauntlet, really. I mean, you've got to go through, first of all, the Swiss, and then once you get into this final bracket, you've got to win one match. You got to then beat one of the top 4 teams that were invited. Once you get to the semifinals, you are battle tested, and you're pretty much on a roll. As long as you don't have to wait like 45 minutes for your next game, you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, for what has such a dainty and flowery name to it, the Spring Open is more like a battlefield here for these teams. They have had to work their way to this platform. We're currently at the stage of the best 8, and here Allegiance are putting on a good reason why they should be counted in the best 4. Game number 3 underway with Allegiance on match point.
Yeah, another chance for a team to close out the other in game 3, and 7 seconds in, Allegiance just swarms into the orange zone, and it's Illusion who gets that one just out of the reach of, it looked like E-Tech.
That was a tasty way to open up game 3. Allegiance hoping to make this a soul-destroying one, it seems.
Well, we'll see if they can keep that pressure on. That's what did not happen from Lights Out in game 3. They kind of took their foot off the gas for just an instant. Big opportunity from Taroko there. Tyler not in any rush to get downfield. Oh, what a play set up with the pass. Just missing Ty in the end. You can see Allegiance, they are playing chess while a lot of other teams are playing checkers. E-Tech now gonna have to try and take this, and he's just taken out by Illusion, having none of it. Taroko just skies this up. Ty is there, but nobody there to follow up. Except Seabass, he may just have the ball given to him in the end.
Yeah, we talked earlier about Lights Out going on to face up against Ghost Gaming. We were like, that's going to be a nice steak dinner. Ghost Gaming with a treat to go up against. This one stacks Merlyn going up against Allegiance. This is more like some sort of back alley van-based Dorito deal, as this has just been absolutely disgusting for them. They have not been able to make the opportunities work, and they just seem to be holed up at every corner. Yeah,
this Allegiance team, look, they're not one of the best teams in the world or anything. They're not Gale Force, per se. You don't have to play perfect to beat them. But that mistake that we just saw from Merlyn, you can't afford to make that mistake if you want to win this match. They have made that mistake. Now they're really behind the 8 ball, down 2-0 in the series, down 2-0 in this elimination game. Seabass going to try to follow this. He's got the defense really in the palm of his hand, and Taroko will come by and bail out Ralph.
That was a bailout. Near enough, the sentence was already set, and Ralph was just sitting there letting it happen, and Taroko just came on in and was like, not today. He wants this win. Can't blame him. Merlyn are still going to fight this out. 3 minutes remaining.
It's going to feel like an eternity for really both these teams, too. And we know 3 minutes is a ton of time in Rocket League. It's E-Tech from Taroko. Needs to follow this up. He ran out of boost. Taroko's there, but his shot may have been altered by the defense. Now Tyler. He'll get that just off the corner. Can't follow it himself. It may find its way in anyways. It doesn't. And this time Ralph repays the favor, clearing it off the goal line. That'll hit the backboard. Nobody can finish. And Seabass will just collect this and kill a little more time for Allegiance.
Yeah, Tarko and Ralph here looking more like blood brothers. They're sworn to protect each other. And it's doing good on that last line. The problem is Merlyn need 2 goals to stay alive. And that's just to send it to overtime. They need 3 to win. And that's without thinking that Allegiance are going to get another.
Seabass going upside down, trying to cut the angle he needed. He was not able to pop that over the defense. Ralph not able to win this challenge over Illusion. Every time we see Allegiance work their way downfield, they certainly look like a team that's been watching maybe Gregan's new passing tutorial. They just work their way from the middle of the field to the outside, right back in. The ball just moves around quicker than the defense can really keep track of it. And it really shows you the value of something we talked about earlier, staying together, having that longevity and consistency as a team. Allegiance has it. That's something that a lot of these other teams should aspire to moving forward.
Yeah, chemistry is not something you get within a day of playing. It's not something you get from just merely signing up for a tournament. It takes work. It takes time to be able to create these fluid movements downfield, which just looks so beautiful. This is more like we're seeing Rocket Ballet.
Look at Illusion. Oh, he got the redirect. The defense was right there, thought he had it, and Illusion just comes in out of nowhere.
Take a look at Ralph here. It was just a whisper away from his car. It was such a wafer-thin angle just between them. And, oh, that is soul-destroying for a defender.
And it may be soul-destroying for the entirety of Merlyn, finding themselves down 3-0 now with only a minute to work with. Tyler and Seabass both up for this. Maybe throwing caution into the wind at this point. Not valuing defense up with a 3-goal lead, and Taroko's going to make him pay for it.
Yeah, caution can just get the heck out of here. When you're into this last minute, you have got to throw everything out the window. And Tarko there just sending the kitchen sink flying.
So let's see if that comes back to haunt Allegiance. They are not through to the semifinals just yet. Ralph does not have a reset. Taroko coming up. He's got to find a way to work his way downfield quickly. Being adept in the ones arena will help him in that regard.
Cat and mouse in the corner.
And this is right at the goal line, but Illusion will have it away. E-Tech not able to get this in front. Down to 17 seconds. Ball on the wrong side of the field for Merlyn. Their time about to run out here. Good half flip to just get in front of this, kill its momentum, make sure it doesn't get to the net. One last clear should do it. It will be a clean sweep for Allegiance, working their way into the semifinals, one step closer to winning the Spring Open.
Yep, that is Allegiance taking down Merlyn in a clean sweep. Game-wise, I mean, Game 2 turned into an overtime. Merlyn did put up a fight, didn't they here? They weren't just going to go down without even trying, Stack.
Right, and they did have really good individual performances at times from all three, Ralph, Taroko, and E-Tech. The problem is they went up against a team that can just work their way down the field, these kind of tic-tac-toe passing plays where all three members get involved. The ball's just whipping around on the offensive zone faster than you can track it. And once you've got a team that's able to do that, you really might as well forget it. Just say, look, we'll pick the ball out of the net for you. We'll set it back at midfield. Let's do this all over again.
Well, Stacks, what we got to find out next after the break is whether that tic-tac-toe pass and play style from Allegiance is good enough to take down G2 Esports. Yes. Oh, you could say they are one of the three titans in American Rocket League at the moment. And Allegiance, they fought them before. They fought them last season in the RLCS. They know how scary this team is. We all know how scary this team is. So don't go anywhere, guys, unless it is, of course, to go to the store. You know, we've got loads of good rival merch. You know, this is if you want to help support us. Yeah, that's it. You got time. You go buy yourself a new T-shirt. I definitely love those baseball caps. I'm trying to get Failures to get me one for LAN, just so that I can rock a bit of rival merch. But he's a hard mistress to sway. Guys, we'll see you after the break. Me and Stacks aren't going anywhere. Hope you aren't as well.